kind of in the dark, but we wanted to share with you something. We're having tacos for lunch. We made a major change over the weekend. What did we change, Jim?
Our time zone.
We did change our time zone. He's not going to tell, he's just going to eat.
Well,
I just want to show you this beautiful plate, if you can see it.
we made a decision. Whether or not we turn it into a change is another story. We've been, for a long time, doing our best to eat right. And, you know, it's an ongoing process. I mean, it's truly a process, because with every new discovery, with every new realization, there's some adjustments in what we're eating, how we're eating.
Peeling back the onion.
Peeling back the onion. But to do it all at once, we just don't know enough to do everything all at once. So we do what we feel most comfortable about. And we got rid of the processed foods long ago. A few of them sneak back in here and there. We're trying to figure out which we can allow to sneak back in safely. But one thing that we've come to realize is that not just the processing, but sometimes the production of producing them, the producing of the foods in their original state, they get a lot of chemicals used with them. And what we're talking about primarily here is plants, but animals eat plants and people eat plants. So when plants have extra chemicals, glyphosate being one of the main ones, they cause problems. After seeing a lot of information about people who have experienced health issues.
It's actually glyphosate.
Glyphosate, sorry.
That's okay. I was sitting here going, what doesn't sound right about that? Oh, it's not phos.
It's glyphosate, sorry. I knew what it was. I could see the picture. So the big challenge, I mean, that's not the only one. There's a lot of other chemicals that find their way onto foods to help keep them healthier, safe from disease, safe from bugs. And I get that. It helps production levels. It truly does. But the question that you've got to ask is, do those chemicals find their way into the final product? And if so, is that a problem? And what we're hearing from a lot of scientific studies is, yes, those chemicals are showing up in
blood blood tests in people.
And the quantity that's showing up is way beyond safe levels. So they know it's a problem. They know that it can cause problems. And when it's showing up, obviously it's getting there from where it's being used through the food chain and finding its way into human bodies. And what's also being learned is that people who have these higher levels tend to exhibit a lot of disease. And when the foods that would contain those chemicals are removed from the diets and they eat real clean food, those levels of the chemicals in their bodies decrease and their diseases that they're experiencing go away. So, therefore,
we have made a change.
It's not a major change for us, but
you know what? I'm going to say it is a major change for us, because just like peeling the onion back, we learn a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. We truly weren't eating totally. No, we didn't understand the significance of eating organic until Justin and Rebecca Rhodes came to our home in Oregon.
And by organic, we understand all plants are organic. I get it. But organic, by the definition that we're using, means raised, produced, shipped, sold, given to the consumer without chemicals being applied to them to protect them.
So we don't always buy organic when we're at the farmer's market. If we can ask the person who's selling it and they can tell us that they have not sprayed and that it hasn't been raised around a field that was sprayed, then we're fine buying it. But the change that we're making now, we watched a video that one of our viewers asked us to watch, and it was a real eye-opener over the weekend, and we are now going to eat only organic. And so I went to the grocery store and bought only organic. And I did this in Salt Lake. We went to Sprouts and bought there, and they had a wonderful supply. And you buy with your pocketbook. That's the way you vote. You vote with your pocketbook. I went up to the counter, there wasn't anything in my cart that wasn't organic. So that way, there's some compromises that I'm having to look at. In order to buy organic, let me restate that. I'm having a blue corn tortilla. See, this is a blue corn tortilla. I know our lighting's pretty funky right now, sorry. And it has Expeller Express, which is really good on your oil, but it's a sunflower oil or a safflower oil, which is an oil we don't eat because of the high omega-6s in it. So we're trading a little bit more of that oil for an organic food.
Which means we need to up our intake of omega-3 foods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, which we can do.
I have salmon thawing as we speak. So I just wanted to pull the camera out and share with you a reality of what we're doing here. So the lettuce is organic, the tomatoes are, this is organic grass-fed beef. The beans are from what we bought in Colorado, and we don't know for sure what they are or they are not.
Yeah.
And so what we determined is we're not going to throw every single thing out of our house. We're going to use it up. And then as we buy new, we're going to make sure that everything that we purchase is organic. So.
And better than purchasing things that are labeled organic and not GMO.
Build them yourself.
Is to find a farmer at the farmer's market, selling out of their farm, stand at their farm, however they're doing it, and talk to them and see what their practices are. See what they're using for fertilizer. See what they have in their ground. See what they're using for compost. Understand the details of how they're raising this, and if you're comfortable that there are no damaging chemicals anywhere along the process of creating this food, and you're comfortable with it, then buy from them. If that's not an option for you, you need to be growing your own, so that you can make certain that from seed from soil through seed all the way to plant and then eating, whether it comes directly to you or goes through an animal, that there are no extra chemicals being injected for some reason to make things better. And usually the better is to make them larger or to produce a larger quantity. It's all about production. It's not about nutrition. It's not about health. And that's what's disturbing about it. It's a business, and it's operated that way, but your health is not a business. Your health is
And we know
you.
we're going to get a lot of flack, because whenever we put out a video on organic, we get a lot of flack.
So we're not telling you what to do. We're telling you what we are doing and why we're doing it. And if you don't agree, give us some factual reason why we're wrong with this.
Wow, you just opened us up.
I opened us up. I truly did. I mean, if we're wrong, show us why. Show us how. Now, don't give me a study that's done by somebody who's producing chemicals, and they've done a study to tell you why their chemicals are safe. I don't buy it. You know, that's like the used car salesman telling you that the car runs great. Of course he's going to tell you that. So it's questionable, first of all. So I'm not going to buy that. But independent studies showing that there's safety, that humans can ingest these chemicals and not have any kind of a damage, that even though they're being sprayed on the foods, that they're not making it into the food supply, if that can be proven. So far, what I've found from the studies that are out there, it's the opposite. The sprays are finding their way into the food source. They're finding their way into the human body, and they're connected to the incident of disease.
There you go.